Thanks for watching this video. If you take anything away with you today from watching this, it's that NASA is nothing more than a false witness. Anything that they report is just a complete lie. I'm going to show you some videos and let them with their own mouth admit to you how they could not have possibly went to the moon back in 1969, much less any other time. As if they can't get past the Van Allen radiation belts today, and they couldn't do it yesterday, and they sure couldn't do it years and years ago. So let's get on with it.
I'm Don Pettit. I'm a NASA astronaut, and I'm on the International Space Station. We're currently about 240 nautical miles above the surface of Earth. It's a serious place. We're doing serious research, scientific research, and engineering research. An angry bird had some eggs. And pig stole the eggs. And don't ask me how I got to eggs on space station. This is all that's left of pig after pig got exploded.
Very important to ensure mission success is to appease the EVA gods. These little ceremonies very, very important to ensure mission success.
Of all your crewmates, and they look perfectly normal to you, but when a picture like this gets down on Earth, you get instructed to take a picture like this. And astronauts are really, really good at making pictures in space that look like you've never left the planet. In fact, it's almost hard-pressed to tell whether you're in space or not in this picture. You know, we've got some fancy backdrops, I guess.
You see the devil horns. Again, just like with the NASA footage. Understand, all of these people involved with these productions, that's all they are productions. They are Freemasons. They're part of the game of deceivers. You're not going to be placed or propped up on this platform unless you're part of this club.
The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore.
I don't know the distance to the Van Allen radiation belt. And if we did, it wasn't a problem. If we were going to encounter it, then we would have had to build the spacecraft and the spacesuit to not give humans a problem. You don't just build something and hope it works. You study to see what the threats are, the environment is, and then you say, how thick do I have to make the metal on the spacecraft so that going through this kind of radiation or these kind of meteoroids, it won't get hurt. And then we build it that way.
The belts are 1,000 miles to 25,000 miles above the Earth.
Then we went right out through them.
No effects on your cells?
We didn't even know it. I don't think anybody, well, maybe somebody said you went through the radiation belt, but we didn't feel it inside, and we didn't get any, added radiation.
Yeah, if you pretend that it's not really there, then you can just go right through it.
And this is really the beginning, I think, of human beings leaving low Earth orbit. I certainly plan on being around to see that.
Headed 3,600 miles above Earth, 15 times higher from the planet than the International Space Station. As we get further away from Earth, we'll pass through the Van Allen belts, an area of dangerous radiation. Radiation like this could harm the guidance systems, onboard computers, or other electronics on Orion. Naturally, we have to pass through this danger zone twice, once up and once back. But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
Once we travel beyond low Earth orbit, the crew will be exposed to larger amounts of radiation. So we have to design both the crew protection systems and our electronic systems to withstand this radiation.
But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
But Orion has protection. Shielding will be put to the test as the vehicle cuts through the waves of radiation.
Sensors aboard will record radiation levels for scientists to study. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space. We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
This is all that's left of Pig after Pig got exploded.
Now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. We only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to. We only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore.
We must solve these challenges before we send people through this region of space.
The moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
We have found over the years that water is a really great radiation absorbing material. So we could do things like water that's already there in the water bags for drinking and things like that. That water could be used to shield them. As well as we've had some concepts like a water-filled vest that they could put on should they know there's an event and need to be protected.
Yeah, I know there are refugees everywhere and like people are starving and stuff and like we have homeless all over the place. But if we spend like a few $1 trillion, I think we should be able to figure out how to make water suits for the astronauts in space.
Now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. We only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore.
We don't have the ultimate answer for radiation on Orion. We're still working on that. If we were to build Orion out of the materials we need and the sole job was to protect for the radiation environment, the vehicle would really be too heavy. So we have to balance the weight of the materials that we put on the spacecraft with how much protection it's providing the crew. So we're really looking at it from an operational perspective.
The lunar module would have required 6 feet of lead shielding, but here's what they really had for protection.
Obviously, the only shielding they had was the literally paper-thin outer hull of aluminum, and their suits consisting of glass fiber, some aluminum fibers, and silicon rubber.
It's very interesting concerning radiation that the astronauts were protected by a thin film of aluminum, when here on Earth they put a lead shield on us when they take a dental x-ray.
In conclusion, when NASA themselves admit to never having left low Earth orbit, and the fact that we don't even have the materials that could withstand the extreme temperatures and cosmic rays in space, how on earth can anyone believe that we ever went to the moon?
I got another one going to be coming out. It's a very, very long study. I'm praying whether I should put this out or not. This is from another preacher. I'm not sure if I should or not, but check the description I might have by the time you've watched this, and I'll have links to it in it if I do. But NASA is not truthful, folks. Not at all. Anything government, entity-wise, that's not truthful. That's not your source of truth. You better believe what the King James Bible teaches you. Thanks for watching, and I love you guys. I'm praying for you, And also, let's pray for our enemies, y'all, that they also be born again. Jesus bless you and your families mightily. Love y'all. Take care.